222 episodes up, 222 down. 9 seasonal tier lists, and a final tier list, whittling down my favorite episodes to a top 26, a top 13, a top 6, and a princess tier episode. I am done with Friendship is Magic. Well, better to say I'm done with this go-through of Friendship is Magic. The reason I say this is a parting thoughts and not like my final thoughts is these probably won't be my final thoughts on the show. They're going to change. They change throughout the process. There were a handful of seasons where as I was doing the tier list, I was like, okay, this is the double S tier episode. This is my favorite episode of the season. Then fast forward to the end when I'm doing the top 26. There were double S tier episodes that didn't make the list, while numerous other episodes from those seasons would sometimes get in, just because that's the nature of an opinion. Like, you remember that, the River song in Pocahontas? You know, the funny thing about rivers is you never step in the same river twice. Did I say river? I think I turned to Elmer Fudd first. The funny thing about rivers is you never step in the same river twice. The water's always changing, always flowing. But, yeah, like, opinions are like that. They don't always stay the same. They don't stay stagnant. And I don't know, I find that to be something that's kind of fun. And it's one of the reasons I wanted to rewatch this show. Is, I guess, is a good enough transition to, like, my previous experience with Friendship is Magic. I got into the show, as I know I've said it before, I got into it via Death Battle. It was the Rainbow Dash Starscream episode of Death Battle. I was like, what? Why is a My Little Pony fighting a Transformer? Why did the clips from the My Little Pony show look kind of fun? Why did the My Little Pony win? Wait, what the hell? Wait, well, hold on a second. Maybe I gotta check this out real quick. And that was around September-ish, I believe, of almost 2021. That is not true. 2011. The reason I remember that is because it was my freshman year of undergrad. It was my first semester, is when I was first introduced to Friendship is Magic. I was also going through heartbreak at that time. I was going through a breakup. And it was kind of this perfect storm of the show looks kind of interesting and kind of fun, so maybe I should check it out. And, well, my heart is broken, and I kind of want something that can distract me and cheer me up. And I really did feel like, yeah, when I was watching Friendship is Magic, I felt my mood getting elevated. It was like, yeah, this is, I think, genuinely entertaining and genuinely good on its own merits. But it kind of helped me through a situation. And I mean, that, I don't want to be like the girl who broke my heart, because it makes it sound so negative and so bitter, because she's genuinely one of my best friends. I went to her wedding. I actually talked to her not that long ago. It's like, I really enjoy whenever I get to catch up with her. So that has its own little happy ending too. But it's something that has, like, it's a really interesting start for me. By the time I finished season 1, there were 3 episodes of season 2 that were out. Return of Harmony, the 2-parter, and Lesson 0. So Luna Eclipsed, which is episode 30. Yeah, it's episode 30. I know my first couple seasons really well. That was the first episode I had to wait for. So from Luna Eclipsed all the way until at least the movie, I followed the show regularly. You might even say religiously. Whenever there was a new episode, I would watch it. Very frequently, I would watch the episode again, like later that day or later that week. I would watch, like, videos of other people in the fandom, like, talking about the episodes. I would listen to, like, people discussions. I very much frequented, I don't like the way I pronounced that. That wasn't right. I frequented Equestria Daily. I read fan fiction. I watched fan videos. I listened to Friendship is Magic based music. I still do listen to some fan-made pony songs. Some of them like go really hard. I've looked at a lot of like really, really good artwork. I think I already said fan fiction, but it's like I feel like I have to single out Fallen Equestria. It's something I really genuinely love. Like if you watched my room tour, I fucking have Fallen Equestria on my shelf. Friendship is Magic, I think, was the first time I really felt like I was part of a fandom. Like, something like Harry Potter, to me, doesn't really count. And the reason I would say that one doesn't count is, well, A, it kind of felt like everyone was reading Harry Potter, and the only people that weren't were the people who said, this is witchcraft, this is evil, you're going to hell if you read it. And everyone else said, I don't think so, and I think it's pretty good. But I remember watching this 60 Minutes episode. This was years ago. Like, this was years before I got into Friendship is Magic. Where it was talking about the Harry Potter fandom. And not just, like, yeah, people who read it and watched the movies. But people who got into it. People who, like, read fan fiction. Like, wrote fan fiction. People who made, like, Harry Potter-themed music. People who, like, had Quidditch games and all that shit. And I remember watching it and thinking, okay, guys. I like the books, too. I even like the movies. This is a little much, though. It's like, people, like, make rock songs about Hermione Granger? Why? That's weird. And then, yeah, I'll just be, like, listening to, like, a rock song about Rainbow Dash and be like, nah, this But that's kind of what I mean. Like, it was a different and unique experience. I'd never really been a part of something like that before, and I don't feel like I've ever really been part of something to that degree since. I kind of jokingly say it was a cult, but maybe that's not really a joke. Maybe it kind of was. I don't know. But it's part of why I wanted to revisit it. It was like, this is a show that I followed and, like, I was involved with. And then I think I kind of off and on followed and watched season 8 and season 9, and then when I found out, okay, the show was about to end, I was like, I'm gonna binge it. So I binged season 8, I binged season 9, like, in time to watch the finale, and I watched the finale, and I was like, okay, this was really good. The show first started 10-10-10, which I think is just super neat. So once we hit 10-10-20, I was like, okay, this is the decade anniversary of Friendship is Magic. And the first time in 10 years it hasn't been on air, which is crazy. I don't know, maybe there were shorts on air, so maybe that's not even true. I was like, okay, I want to rewatch this. I want to revisit this. Was the show, like I had said in earlier videos, like, I had some questions. First and foremost, was this ever any good? Like, did I only get into it because, like I said, like, I was going through heartbreak at the time and it was a nice distraction, and that, I don't know, like, it was a sunk cost, so I decided that I liked it? Was it because I was actually in a cult and it's the only reason that it was like the echo chamber is what made me like the show? I wanted to revisit it. It's like on its own merits, not following a fandom, not going through any weird heartbreak, and I can just binge it and watch it at my own discretion. Am I enjoying it? Am I having a good time? And the short answer to that is emphatically yes. I would not have watched 222. Okay, I can't say that. There is a non-zero chance that I would have watched 222 episodes just to be like, okay, I have thoroughly revisited this. It's dog shit. Like, I hate that I can see myself doing it. But I did really like it. I guess, like, I had a list of some of the questions I wanted to ask. So, was the show ever good? I would say yes. Did the show ever get bad? Ish. I would say, to me, there is no bad season. There are weaker seasons. I say season 6 is the weakest season. Little spoiler alert for later. And it's the weakest. I think it's a mid-season overall with some really, really good episodes in it. But overall, like, it's not great, but it's not bad. Are there bad episodes? Yes. There are bad, I think every season except season 7 has bad episodes. Season 7 was just kind of weird. I'm like, hey, everything is hitting in some degree. Like, there's still mid episodes, but there's nothing below the mid mark for me, and I really appreciated that. Like, it took 7 seasons for them to hit perfection, and it's not even close to being my favorite season. What do you know? But I would say, did it ever get bad? Technically, I guess, because there are bad episodes. And I think some of the later seasons are the weaker seasons. But I think the overall quality is still there and it's still consistent. One of the questions I had was, how noticeable is it that Lauren Faust left? Because she was the showrunner for season 1. I think she had like influenced some episodes in season 2, but for the most part, she was not really involved with season 2. That is my understanding. I could be wrong about that. And if that is my understanding, or like if my understanding is correct, it is kind of noticeable. I can't really put a figure on it though. It's not like, oh yeah, these are the differences. It's almost like a vibe thing. Like season 1 feels different from the rest of the show. And it's not like it's so much better or it's so much worse. It's just like, yeah, I don't know, season 2 like feels more extra. It's a weird thing to say. Like, I look at Lesson 0. Lesson 0 feels like the start of Lesson 0 feels like the start of season 2. Return of Harmony kind of feels like the end of season 1. And my understanding is it was written to be the end of season 1. It was just kind of the start of season 2. I don't know. Maybe I'm not making any sense. Like I said, it's not something I feel like I can easily articulate. But watching it, I can tell that season 2 feels different. And season 3... I mean, I don't know. I feel like season 3 and like other seasons feel more like season 2 than they do season 1, although a lot of them have their own identity. Season 4 has the key arc. Season 5 is like starting the map, and it's like the themes on key arcs, etc., etc. But I would say it does feel pretty noticeable that the original creator left. But it is also interesting to say, this might sound really mean, and I don't mean it in a mean way. I don't think the show suffered for it. Like I said, the quality still feels consistent. At least to me it does. Then kind of following up on that, is Alicorn Twilight? It's like, okay, what am I going to think of this? Did this like mean anything? Was it a good thing that they did? Does it feel earned? Etc., etc., etc. In terms of how earned it feels, I'm kind of on the fence about it. It's like, okay, what did Twilight really do, like, to earn it? Well, I guess it's like the thing that put her over the edge was like she finished a spell, and the spell was friendship related. I said friendship adjacent. I was like, oh, it's very friendship related. So I guess it makes sense. Like, she saved the world several times, so I'll say it like this. I think depending on how you see her duties as the Princess of Friendship, kind of depends on how well earned it is. Because I will say, I actually like her as princess a lot. Number one, the core of her character is still intact. Twilight is still a neurotic piece of shit, and that's what I love about this character. What is it? I don't think they don't call it this until like season 9, but they call it Twilighting. It's like, yeah, this is when she starts freaking out about things. This is when she'll make the crazy faces. This is just like start talking really fast, and it's a consistent part of her character, and I genuinely think it is one of the most entertaining things in the show. It's one of the reasons why Lesson 0 remains one of my favorite episodes throughout the entire run. But I feel like once she becomes princess, there's this balance that the show is trying to strike between Twilight is still Twilight at her core, but she is... I'm seeing like the glare on the screen. Okay, I think my head is now blocking it. It was distracting me. It might have been distracting you too. If so, I apologize. Hopefully I fixed it. Is that striking this balance between she's still who she is at her core, but also trying to be more mature and balancing her responsibilities. Those responsibilities being, number one, she's the protector of the realm. Like, whenever a major threat happens, this is usually the first person to answer the call. And in terms of that, I think her becoming a princess is very well earned. At that point, Nightmare Moon, Discord, a major assist against Chrysalis. Even though she didn't technically stop Chrysalis, she was the one to suss out that there was a problem. She was the one to say, even if everyone is against me, this is what I think is going on, and I have to stand up for it because I have to keep everybody safe. And again, even if she didn't technically stop it, she did a lot of work in being able to get the problem solved, and then everything with the Crystal Empire. So, in terms of that regard, I think she earned it. And then what happens after? When the Everfree Force and the Plunder Seeds happen, she has to take charge. Tira, like the entirety of Twilight's Kingdom. The movie's a shit show, but the movie does happen where she's trying to save the realm. Everything that happens in the season 5 finale with Starlight, and I love the way she solves the problem. That is not beating her with straight up magic. It is not using the power of friendship and the elements of harmony to blast her with a rainbow Kamehameha. It is genuinely, I am treating this like a friendship problem. That's how I am solving it. And it's why I still say I think Remark works really, really well as a series finale. Let's see, what's after that? The Crystalling, I mean, I don't know, kind of the less said about the Crystalling, the better. To Hoyer and back again, it's because Twilight's the protector of the realm. She was on site for Chrysalis. What was season 7? Oh yeah, season 7 premiere wasn't a threat. The finale was Shadow Play, where she had a major part in that. And then the school shit, and then beginning of the end and ending of the end, what do you know? She's still the protector of the Ding Dang realm. So that's one of the responsibilities. One of the other major responsibilities are being the Princess of Friendship. Is her friendship ambassadorial? Is that even a word? I don't know, but her ambassador duties. That is in terms of, there's 3 ways that manifests. Number 1 is the map, which is some sentient I guess it's the tree. So yeah, it's the tree saying, there's a problem, I need you and / or one of your friends or subordinates, I guess. Well, I mean, the Crusaders, I think, are still her friends. Like, that's kind of what Twilight Time's about. And Starlight is her subordinate, it's her student, but also, like, genuinely they become friends. So it's like, you and or your friends go solve shit that is specifically something that, like, they are suited for. Then you get some other things, which is not because of the map or protecting the realm. It's just shit that she wanted to do because it sounded right. Like Prince Rutherford and the Yaks. Or like, oh, Spike, like, you're going to go to the Dragonlands? I want to go with you because I can learn more about dragons. Like, maybe we can figure some shit out. And then kind of befriends the Dragon Lord. And so you get that. That stuff going on. I mean, Princess Spike is a complete fucking dog shit episode. But it is them trying to have, like, bring more... By the way, you literally never see Philadelphia. It's something referenced in season 1, and you just never get to see it, and that's kind of sad. I'm kind of glad we never saw Huffington. For reasons. If you've seen some of my videos, you probably guess why. But, like, yeah, we never saw Philadelphia, huh? Thank God we never saw the Huff. But, there's that, like, she wants to bring people together, and she wants to spread the message. And I respect that. And then you get the school, which is just, we can't be everywhere at once. Maybe it's just easier if everyone comes to us. And while I'm not crazy about a lot of the episodes involving the school, I like the idea of the school. So I'm going to skip ahead a bit, because there are other questions I had too. Let me go and hit the school question. Yeah, it's basically what I just said. I like the idea. As the Princess of Friendship, as this friendship ambassador, let me kind of expedite it, and rather than just the map saying, hey, you should go here, let's have people come to us, teach them a lot of the shit that we learned, because just publishing the journal and saying, hey, this is what we learned, that didn't work. We have to actually explain it to people and teach them. I know Fame and Misfortune is a very, very controversial episode. I love it. I think this episode is hysterical. But, that didn't work. Let's try to expedite the issue in a different way. Maybe a more productive or healthy way. And that's what the school is. So I like the idea. The Amity Club, which is what I call the main 6 students that it focuses on, I do like them. They're not my favorites, mostly because I feel like, dude, I've had 160 episodes with these other assholes by the time you guys got introduced. I mean, no offense. The main 6 are like my college friends, because like I said, I started watching the show during my freshman year of undergrad. Right when I was done with undergrad, I went into law school, and I was still watching it in law school. So it's kind of one of the things I really like about watching the show. It feels like I'm catching up with my college friends, and it's just something that's really neat to me. It's like, yeah, new kids, I still like these characters, but they're not my old college buddies, you know? I do think some of the Amity Club centric episodes, like Heartwarming Tale, it's like Heartwarming Club, What Lies Beneath, Uprooted, I think is overall pretty okay, but I think the song is actually really good, because the song is less about the Amity Club and the tree and more of the show is about to end, and we are acknowledging that, and acknowledging that it really did mean a lot to a lot of people, and I really, really like that. Also, I do think, though, the school has the single worst 2-parter, but then it also has School Race, which is just dumb shit, and I mean it in the best possible way. I don't know if I'd say it's good, but I also love it, so I don't care. Let's see. That's kind of all I want to say about the school. I think my next question after that was Glim Glam. See, Alicorn Twilight, responsibilities. Oh yeah, it's like, what do I think of the map overall? I like the idea of the map a lot. My problem is it's criminally underused. So the first season, they start doing shit with the map into season 5. Which, if I'm remembering correctly, I think that's Rainbow Dash and Pinky, Twilight and Fluttershy, and in the middle of that was Rarity and Applejack. In the next season, there's again 3 map episodes with the main 6, but they shuffle the teams. Now it's Pinky and Rarity. Now it's Fluttershy and Applejack. Now it's Twilight and Rainbow Dash. I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's season 5 and season 6. We've got 3 more seasons, and we might be able to hit every combination. So we'd get Twilight and Rarity, another one with Twilight and Applejack, and then another one with Twilight and Pinky, etc., etc. It's like, oh, I kind of really like that. Because what this is doing, for all intents and purposes, it's allowing the main 6, how do I want to say it? It's allowing them to be involved in problems and keep their character developed. For example, let's look at a couple episodes in season 8 that I think are terrible. Non-compete clause, which is Rainbow Dash and Applejack are competing over being employee of the month, which, yeah, if you've ever heard that one before, watch SpongeBob. Or if you've never heard that one before, there's a great episode of SpongeBob for you. And it's just, I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's funny. It's just a shitty version of Fall Weather Friends, which is a great episode. And these two, I feel like they've evolved past this. It's not that I don't like them being competitive with each other. That's great. There's other episodes that have done that since season 1, like Castlemania, or the little bit of competitive flavor they get in a Trivial Pursuit. Rainbow Dash just going, don't choke, when Applejack gets a question. It cracked me up. It's great. The problem is they're so annoyingly petty to the detriment of the students they're supposed to be teaching. I'm like, this is the part where I say you two are better than this. Alternatively, you can give them a map episode. So the two of them still have to team up. They still have to do something together and possibly butt heads and argue. But it's in a more healthy way. And it's like, no, we are trying to work together to solve a problem. We still get to see the two of them interact and their best qualities and possibly the worst qualities of their relationship. But they get to keep their character development and not be the idiots causing the problem. That's kind of what I mean. And the other one, it was The End and Friend. It's, Rarity and Rainbow Dash don't have a lot in common, but somehow they're friends. Maybe they're not anymore. This is a season 8 episode. This feels like this should be season 2 at the latest. And it's also just not very good. I didn't think it was very funny. I didn't think it was very interesting. I'm like, no, they've had episodes together before this. They're fine. They're Gucci. Just give them a map episode where they can do shit. That's what I mean, where I feel like it's underused. We did not get to see all these fun team comps. Like, I'm going into season 7, like, okay, what are we gonna get? And there's one with Spike where he gets to solve a problem. Like, okay, that's kind of neat, I guess. I don't remember. Oh, no. Actually, wait. Was Paramap season 7? No, I think that was season 8. So, yeah, I don't remember another map episode in season 7. Unless that's when Kieran Tail was, but I think that was season 8. Because season 8 was the Crusaders get a map episode where they're all together. Glim Glam and Sunburst get a map episode, unless that was season 9, but I think that was season 8. And then Applejack and Fluttershy get a second map episode with the two of them teaming up, which was really good. Like, I liked that. It's not that I don't like these individual episodes. I'm like, this is what I love about the map. Let me try this again to kind of consolidate this opinion. The main characters still get to solve it, like, be important. They get to be hoof deep in friendship issues that they did not themselves cause, showing that they have developed and are better people. We as the audience, or they as the writers, also get to see different combinations of characters interacting and exploring new settings. That's what I like about them. I just wish there were more of them. Probably at the expense of some lesser episodes. Especially ones that are, let's have our main characters interact, but the episodes are going to be bad. That's what I think of the map. Glim Glam. So I will say, it never really becomes the Starlight Glimmer show. She does have kind of the main arc of season 6, but there's really not that many episodes dedicated to it, which, to be honest, I think is to its detriment. Yes, I am a Glim Glam stan, so I would have just liked there to be more Starlight Glimmer episodes, especially given how I think, season 6 is super mid. Maybe change a couple of those mid episodes, have Starlight do some shit, learn something, and, like, better herself as a person, and call it a day. But I don't feel like her... I think wanting to redeem her is fine. Again, I like that the problem at the end of season 5 is solved as a genuine friendship problem. Her being part of the group and kind of trying to find her own dynamic and make some of her own friends and her own mistakes is stuff I really like. Having her befriend Trixie was a great decision. Interacting with Sunburst, I actually really like Sunburst. I like her interactions with Sunburst, so I think that all goes super well. But to be like, oh yeah, she's had maybe 3 episodes throughout the season. Yeah, she can save the world now, and cool, you saved the world. I have nothing left to teach you. Now, am I oversimplifying it? Yes, because Twilight still wanted to teach her stuff as Celestia, who was like, I don't know, maybe she's done. I'm like, I don't buy that. Her last episode before the finale was Every Little Thing She Does, which is the episode where she hypnotizes the Remain Five. It's a great episode. I love it. But it doesn't really show her progressing now, does it? Be like, yeah, this character, she's ready. And I know I had said this, I don't remember when. I don't know if this was in season 9 or if I said this during the final tier list. To me, I think one of the biggest missteps of Friendship is Magic is that never really having an episode where Starlight goes to visit the old village. You see it at the very end of season 5, like during that kind of wrap-up song. And during the start of Where and Back Again, she gets invited back to the village. That's not enough, at least for me. I feel like, especially if what you want to do with her arc is, say, at the end of season 6, is that she's okay. She is at a place where she is maybe not a good person, but she is a better person. She is actively working to make amends. And she's been able to, like, people have forgiven her. She's forgiven herself. Making that an episode, I think, would have really sold it. And it just never happens. Okay, so, like, what are some of my big missed opportunities? That, what I was talking about with the map, that we never really get to see every combination. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not like, okay, we needed a Spike, Applejack, and Scootaloo solve a map problem. I just mean in terms of the main 6 dynamics. I really wanted that. And Diamond Tiara, which I think is another thing I wanted to bring up, was just what do I think of the Crusaders and their cutie marks? I actually kind of like them. I was very, especially when my first go through of the show, I was like, this is what we've been building up to the whole time? I don't know about this, Chief. I think starting from one bad apple on this rewatch, I was like, okay, I think I can kind of see what they're trying to do here. Is that, you know, their whole thing is not just for the 3 of us. It's anyone who needs help with their marks. That's what we want to do. It is not just dedicated to the 3 of us. Okay, I can see what we're doing. And then in season 5, the, Appaloosa's Most Wanted? That's the Trouble Shoes episode. That was really the first episode to say, this is what their thing is. This is what they can do. And then Crusaders of the Lost Mark is when they get their marks, they help Diamond Tiara, and they fix all that shit. I think it works really well. That is genuinely one of my favorite episodes of the whole show. In later seasons, they follow up on it. I think it's like season 6 and season 7 specifically, there are episodes where like, this is our thing now. Let's do it. I think it's On Your Mark. Okay, I have to see if I can actually remember some of these episodes. On Your Marks is their first episode since getting their marks and them trying to figure shit out. And they're all like, hey, let's do our own shit. Which does, I do really love that scene when Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle get back from their day and Apple will have the worst fucking day of her life. They're like, hey, what did you get into? Crocheting. Look at what I made. Yeah, that's something, Sweetie Belle. Oh, it's terrible. But I had fun, and that's what matters. And they walk inside, and Apple Bloom is in the dark. Like, hi, girls. You finally came back. Like, I think the episode is mid as hell. That scene is gold. Like, 100% that scene is amazing. That is an episode all about what they do. And that's also the Gabby episode, Fault in Our Cutie Marks. So, they focus on it. Season 7... I know that's Marks and Recreation, which is the Rumble episode. I'm trying to remember, did they do anything else with their cutie mark stuff in season 7? Off the top of my head, no. It wouldn't surprise me if there was, and I just don't remember the episode. No, because season 7 had them all just like doing separate shit. Like there was a Sweetie Belle Rarity episode. Parental Guidance was Scootaloo and Rainbow Dash. Washouts is until season 8. What did Apple Bloom have? Oh yeah, and then Apple Bloom's was, we're gonna get my brother hitched. For real this time, not just Hearts and Hooves Day. So yeah, season 7 didn't do as much with it. there was at least an episode dedicated to it. It is not a thing in season 8 or 9. Season 9, they have 2 episodes. One is about, like, hey, look at all the good we've done. But they're not, like, they help someone in the first few minutes. That's kind of it. It's, essentially, it is like, this is their final episode, wrapping things up. And then there's their actual final episode, which has nothing to do with Cutie Marks at all. Which I think is honestly a pretty fun episode, though. And then, yeah, season 8, they just don't do anything with that storyline anymore. And as I've said, one of my biggest, like, missed opportunities in the show, Diamond Tiara does not have a line of dialogue in the second half. This is the pony that was, like, their mortal enemy, and then they became cool. This is a redeemed villain. Maybe we can do something here. I just have Diamond Tiara give that fucking speech in that final episode, instead of just the random dude that they helped at the start. Like, that, it would have worked a lot better for me. But anyways, overall, I like the idea of what their marks represent. I like that they do stuff with it later. I like that the marks are still individualized. So you do get more of their, like, this is your thing, but this is also kind of like your other thing, like your sub thing. And I like that a lot. And I actually really like the design, like how it is just like their emblem. I think that's neat as fuck. Let's see. Map. Their marks. I talked about the school. And then, yeah, with Glim Glam, like I said, it never really becomes the Starlight Glimmer show. Season 7 almost does, because it feels like she does have more episodes in 7 than she did in 6. And I feel like probably more than she did in 8 or 9. But I don't, like, she definitely doesn't take over the narrative in Season 7. Season 7's really weird about that, where its narrative is the pillars, and there's 3 episodes about it, but one of the episodes is just, hey, we're just going to get 3 of them done out of the way. Like, okay, that was kind of quick. And then, here's an episode about some shit, but also a story, and here's an episode about some shit, but also a story, and then here they are again. Okay. It's fine, I guess. But I feel like when you look at when you look at the actual episode total, it maybe seems like she had a lot of influence in like she's very much early season 7 is kind of the Starlight Glimmer show. Then it seems like it tones down, but she gets a few episodes at the back end of the season, so she almost kind of takes it over again. But watching the whole thing and binging it, it doesn't feel like that much, at least for me, and I'm not going to complain to see more Glim Glam. Let's see. Where are the other... Okay, so those were a lot of my questions going in. Those are my answers. And for the most part, I'm like, yeah, I can notice a lot of the different eras of the show and some of the different things that it was trying to do. I think it did a lot of them well. Now I'm going to talk about just like what I think is some of the best shit. So starting with Best Pony, for me, I think it's probably Twilight. When I look at my favorite episodes, Rainbow Dash is in there a lot. At the top 26, 4 of them are just straight up Rainbow Dash episodes. A lot of them are very group-centric episodes, where that's why I didn't do a full breakdown of, like, okay, like, how many Fluttershy episodes, how many Twilight episodes, and, like, okay, how do you classify Return of Harmony? Like, is that a Twilight episode? Is that an Everyone? I think it's more of an Everyone episode, and, like, Best Night Ever is an Everyone, like, Cutie Mark Chronicles, is that an Everyone episode? Is that a Crusader episode? Is that both? Yes, like, there's kind of too much shit there. I don't think I really want to count it. But I feel like in a lot of my favorite episodes, whether it's the whole group or just her specifically, Twilight often steals the show. I think she is my favorite. And I don't feel like, when I was kind of looking at a lot of my least favorite episodes, which again, there's only like 20 of them, which again, if 222 is, it's a really good average. I keep snapping my fingers. It's fucking weird. I almost did it again. I don't feel like there is a bad Twilight Sparkle episode. There's bad Rainbow Dash episodes. Rainbow Dash is my least favorite episode in the show. A lot of them actually. Like, when I look at them, it's like, yeah, a lot of the bad episodes are Rainbow Dash episodes. And that makes me sad because how much I love this character. But I would say Twilight is my favorite. But I have to give my shout out to Rainbow Dash. I also have to give my shout out to Glim Glam. My least favorite episode, I didn't do a whole thing. It's like I didn't want to do a tier list on that. I didn't want to be like, all right, what are the worst of the worst? But Newbie Dash is the worst one because I didn't finish it. And I'm like, I watched 222 episodes, 221 and a half. I refused to watch the last half of that episode because it was so miserable, unpleasant, unfunny, unentertaining. It's like, this is just awful. I don't want to watch it because I don't think it's going to get any better. I've seen the episode before. It didn't get any better. It's dog shit. Like I said, I didn't really make a list. So I guess off the top of my head, some other ones I really don't like. Meridowell is terrible. Non-compete clause is terrible. Again, the Rainbow Dash episodes. Princess Spike is a really bad episode. If you've seen my season 2 tier list video, I went on a rant about Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000. Really hate that episode, but a pen in that. But Sweet and Smoky, that's the terrible one from season 9. We're like, hey, Garble, maybe we should redeem him. No, he's a piece of shit. I talked about this in season 9. I'll just say it real quick here, so I don't get accused of being a hypocrite, although maybe I am, I don't know. I feel like when you look at Diamond Tiara and Garble, when you understand the reason Diamond Tiara is the way she is, there's like when it's explained, my brain went, I get it. You were still a pretty awful person, but I get it. And when she is given the opportunity to make a change, she takes it. I just wish we could have seen more of it in the entire second half of the show. With Garble, once you're given the explanation for why he is the way he is, it explains some of it. It does not explain all of it. And there's a lot of things that make me go, no, I think that's still unacceptable. And when he's given that chance, he rejects it time after time after time after time. That time I was snapping on purpose. As until the very end of the episode, it's like, okay, now he'll accept. I'm like, no. Diamond Tiara is like way more sympathetic than you piece of shit. I fucking hate Garble. Okay, I'll say this. I don't completely hate him for what he is. What makes me hate him is the fact that they tried to say, no, he's just a big old soft. Like, no, this is dog shit. Anyways, I think those are some of the worst episodes. There's probably others I've talked about, and like I don't like where he takes me at either. I think that one's pretty fucking bad. Anyways, let's see. What are some of these other things I wanted to do? Oh, that's next. Okay, so I like lists. Okay. I like lists. I like rankings. It's the kind of thing that just makes me all giddy inside. I know I mentioned this last year, but when I saw My Dinner with Andre, and there's that scene where Wallace Shawn is saying, he's like, there is nothing more satisfying than crossing something off a list. I felt seen, okay? It's like, he gets it. He gets me. There's someone on this earth who understands. So something I did last year was I went through Fall Out Boy's catalogs. I'm a very big Fall Out Boy fan. And So Much for Stardust just came out, which I still think is really like it. So one of the things I did was like, all right, I'm going to listen to every album multiple times, make sure like I really know which ones I like. And I said, okay, if I have to make a Fall Out Boy album, but I can only use one track per song. Like, for example, essentially what I tried to do was, of these 8 albums, who has the best track 1? Folie à Deux? What is it? Something Water Buffalo. Damn it, I should know this. I really like that song and I've listened to it a lot. Disloyal Order of Water Buffaloes. Thank you. That's my favorite first song on a Fall Out Boy album. You're number 1. What's my favorite number 2? Etc., etc., etc. And then I've got All This Ringing in My Ears, but None on My Fingers got in by default because Infinity on High is the only album that goes up to 14 without like bonus tracks and include bonus tracks. Anyways, I did that for Friendship is Matching. These are my favorite 26 episodes. Like, this is the best episode 1 throughout all 9 seasons, etc., etc., etc. It gets kind of messy, though, when I get to episode 26. Because in most seasons, episode 25 and 26 are the finale. With a couple seasons, that being season 1 does not have a 2-part finale. It's 25 and 26 are separate episodes. Season 3 is only 13 episodes, so it doesn't really compete for half of the fucking list. Then you get season 9, which is a 3-parter, but it's also kind of 2 separate, like 24 and 25 are the 2-parter, and then here's the epilogue at the end. So, depending on how you look at that episode, I'll get into the weeds when I get to it, but I feel like I had to say it. So, the best episode, but you know what I mean. Number 1 and 2 are Return of Harmony. 3 is less than, the best episode 3 is less than 0. To me, the best episode 4 is One Bad Apple. The best episode 5 is Magic Duel. 6 is Sleepless in Ponyville. 7 is Wonderbolt Academy. 8, I cheated a bit. I have 2, because I can't choose between these 2 episodes. Hearthswarming Tale and Frenemies. Oh, I should probably say what seasons these are all from. 1, 2, and 3 are all from season 2. 4, 5, 6, and 7 are all from season 3. And then my tie for 8 are season 6 and season 9. Best episode 9, A Slice of Life from season 5. Best episode 10. Oh, by the way, this is actually something that's really important to bring up. I did this in production order of the episodes, not in broadcast order. Because I guess that's how it was intended. It's not how it was actually seen, but like this is how it is on the DVDs. And because the order is different, I just like, this is the one I'm going to go with. So I feel like that's important to say. I just forgot to say it. Anyways, I'm sorry. Best number 10 is Saddle Row from season 6. Best number 11 is Student Council from season 9. 12 is Amending Fences from season 5. 13, Perfect Pair from season 7. So now they're in 14 onwards. You're not going to see anything more from season 3. Best 14 is Fame and Misfortune from season 7. I said it, I really like that episode. Best 15 is Hearthswarming Club from season 8. 16, A Trivial Pursuit from season 9. Boy, this one was really hard because there's multiple top 26 episodes that are episode 16s. The Summer Sun Setback is number 17 from season 9. Number 18 is Mod Pie from season 4. 19, Crusaders of the Lost Mark, season 5. Number 20, It's About Time from season 2. 21, Every Little Thing She Does from season 6. 22, Hurricane Fluttershy from season 2. 23, Cutie Mark Chronicles from season 1. 24 and 25 are Ending of the End from season 9. Now we get into the weird shit with 26. If Ending of the End and The Last Problem are one episode, Last Problem gets it for 26 for season 9. If I don't count it as part of Ending of the End and it's its own episode, I would put it below Best Night Ever. So season 1 would get the point. But I overall like Twilight's Kingdom more than Best Night Ever. And Twilight's Kingdom Part 2 is episode 26. So ultimately, that's what I gave the point here. But it's weird, and I felt like I had to explain how weird that was, because, yeah, anyways, that was that. It's something I wanted to do. And of course, I tallied it up. Season 1 had 1 episode, because I'm not going with Best Night Ever. Like I said, I'm giving it to Twilight's Kingdom. Season 2 had 5, Season 3 had 4, Season 4 had 2, Season 5 had 3, Season 6 had 3, Season 7 had 2, Season 8 had 1, and Season 9 had 6. Wow, did not like doing all that with my fingers. That felt weird. I will not be going over my top 26 episodes because I did a whole video on that. If you want to see that, please go watch it. I would appreciate it a lot. And if you have, I appreciate it. And if you're here, I appreciate you. Thank you. But I did a tally of them by season. The top 26. Season 1 has 3. Season 2 has 5. Season 3 has 2. Season 4 has 2. Okay, actually, let me redo that. This is the easiest way for me to do it. Seasons 2 and 5 each have 5 episodes in my top 26, which is 10 episodes. Season 1 and Season 9 each have 3. So altogether, that's 16 episodes, leaving 10 slots between 5 other seasons. Each season, more or less, quick pen, excuse me. But each season, more or less, gets 2 episodes each. The only one that doesn't was Season 8, because it technically only has 1 episode, but pulling the pin out, the other episode to get in is Best Gift Ever, which isn't in a season. It's a special that aired in between Season 8 and Season 9. So if you look at it as a Season 8 episode, kind of, but technically it's not. So there are 4 seasons that have 2 episodes, 1 season that has 1, and then a special that also includes, because the special is considered an episode. So there's all that. The top 13, let's see, that I actually don't remember as well. I think it's Season 5 has 2, okay, so Season 2 I know has 3. Season 9's 3 are all in there, so that's 6. I know Season 3 I know has 1. Season 4 I know has 1. I know Season 6 has 1. Season 5 has 2. I should have written this one down. I thought I did, but I don't have it in my notes. Anyways, there's some kind of breakdown there in the top 13, because I don't 100% remember what all my top 13 episodes are. I know my top 6 really well. There's 1 from Season 4, 1 from Season 5, 1 from Season 7, 2 from Season 2. I say I know it very well, and I'm missing... Oh, yeah, and 1 from Season 9. That was only 5, but 2 from 2, 1 from 4, 1 from 5, 1 from 9, and 1 from 7. And then my favorite episode is a Season 2 episode. So my actual ranking of all the seasons. Actually, I should probably skip that for now. Boy, there's more shit to talk about. Not a lot. I promise. I'm really close to being done. But I like lists, so I've got a few more. I have 3 more lists. The next list is I just ranked all the premieres and finales. There's 18 of them. Go figure, with 9 seasons, you get 1 premiere with finale each. 9 times 2 is 18. Ranking them from 18 to 1. School Days, The Crystalling, Shadow Play, Friendship is Magic, also known as Mare and the Moon, which I think is actually a pretty dope sounding title. To Where and Back Again, Celestial Advice. I'm only including Celestial Advice and not All Bottled Up as well, because I know they aired together. Celestial Advice is the premiere of Season 7, then All Bottled Up, which is like, here's a regular episode, and I think it's a great episode. Beginning of the End, Magical Mystery Cure, School Rays, A Canterlot Wedding, Princess Twilight Sparkle, The Crystal Empire, Best Night Ever. And then the top 5, The Cutie Map, The Cutie Remark, Twilight's Kingdom, Ending of the End, and including The Last Problem there, and Return of Harmony. Best songs. So there's a lot. Like, I had a playlist up, and I was like, okay, there's 131 songs on here. I don't want to do like a top 10 or whatever for this. here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to pick my favorite song for every season. So that's what I did. Best song per season, in my opinion. Season 1 is Winter Wrap Up. Season 2 is the This Day aria. Season 3 is True True Friends. Season 4 is Heartstrong as Horses. Season 5 is We'll Make Our Mark. Season 6 is Pinky's Present. Season 7 is Flawless. Good shout out to Fame and Misfortune. Season 8. This one's actually really tough because, like, I really like A Kieran's Tale overall, but you just can't be a dragon here. I love the beat in that. I love how upbeat it is. Like, it's this fucking swing song. I'm like, I'm gonna call that one a tie. You can't stop me. It's my... And then season 9 is just Better Way to Be Bad. That's not even hard. And the Best Gift Ever, which isn't technically in a season, so it gets its own thing, and there are 2 songs. I really liked One More Day. It was stuck in my head for several days. Before I recorded this, it was stuck in my head. And from the movie, it's Rainbow. It's the Sia song, because it's fantastic. Which means I now have one more list. Best season. Ranking all 9 seasons, I would say the bottom, and it's not bottom of the fucking barrel because I think they're all seasons. I guess I'll also kind of tier them as I go. So I would say this is the C tier is season 6. Season 6 still has some phenomenal episodes. It has like a top 13 episode. It has 2 of the top, I mean most of them are 2 in the top 26. Like it does have a top 13 episode. It has a top 7 or 8 episode, I would even say. But overall, I felt like so many of the episodes were just fine. It's okay. I think the premiere is super mid. I think the finale is good. I just don't quite love it because I don't think it's quite as earned as the show seems to think it is. And I don't know, that might be a controversial take. It just needed a little bit more Starlight. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Or again, maybe some... I don't know, I think the map episodes were actually like pretty good. I think that's where Top Bolt is. And it wasn't on my like big tier list because I know it's not going to make a spot, but I like Top Bolt quite a bit. I thought it was pretty fun. Anyways, season 6. Then we get the B tier seasons. To me, the B tier seasons are season 8 and season 7. I like 8. I respect them more than I like them. Even then, season 7 might be more like an A tier season, but I would put season 8 in B tier. I would say I probably respect it more than I like it. It's got some dog shit episodes. It has a lot of good ones. It doesn't have a lot of great ones. I struggled to think of what was the double S when I was recording it. And normally I'm like, okay, it's this episode. Or it's like, it's between these because these are all so good and like so cut above the rest. Like usually what happens is I'm like, this is the best regular episode and this 2-parter is phenomenal. In season 8, I'm like, well, I mean, the first 2-parter sucked. And the second one was really fun, but it's a mess. And I can't say it's a double S. And a lot of these other episodes, like they're good. I really like them. But I don't know if they're like amazing tier episodes. Although one of them did make the top 26. I'm like, okay, that retroactively would be the double S. But it's not that season 8 is mid. It's good. But I feel like genuinely a lot of other seasons are like outstanding. Even with their bad episodes. I haven't forgotten the Super Speedy Pill. Or that Super Speedy Pin. But I would put season 8 there. Season 7, I could argue it's A tier. I could argue it's also B tier. Like I said, I don't think there's a bad episode in season 7. But it kind of has the same problem with season 6. So I'm like, there's not a lot of standouts. There is a top 6 episode. It's amazing. I love The Perfect Pair. Aside from that, it's a better season 8 with a worse finale. No, I would say it's also a B tier season. I respect it. I respect it more than I like it. But I do like it. But I would say it goes 6, 8, 7. Then we get our A tier seasons. Season 3. Season 3 is something I've said several times. If you take season 3's 13 episodes and stack it against any season's first 13 or second 13, it might not be better, but I feel like it would hold up pretty well, and I still think that. It's just, in a show with consistent quality, the fact that this is the one season with, like, notably less quantity, I think does hold it back. But again, it has, I mean, like the fucking weird season wars I was doing, it had 4 episodes in that 26. That's gotta say something for it. It still has a couple episodes in the top 26. One of them I know is a top 13. And honestly, there's one episode that I really sad didn't make my top 26. And that was Apple Family Reunion. It's not like I've lost sleep or anything, but I'm like, that's the one where I'm like, I don't know what I would have cut though. Maybe that, I don't even think I would have cut that season 8 episode because it's so funny. Like, I really, really like it. I'm like, I don't know what I would have cut. But maybe I should have for it. Maybe I should have cheated and just said, like, this has to be up here. I don't know. It is the one episode that I feel like I did dirty to. That breaks my heart that I did it dirty. And I'm like, I gotta give season 3 some love for that. So I feel like I would put season 3 as the next season, the start of the A tier. Then it's kind of a coin flip between season 1 and season 4. They're both A tiers. I'm like, there's a part of me that likes season 1 more because it's more nostalgic. I'm a lot more familiar with it. And the fact that to me season 1 still holds up so well means a lot to me. And I'm like, but season 4 had a whole last narrative, and I wasn't exactly keen on a lot of the key episodes. So season 1's better. The other part of me is like, here's the thing, though. I wasn't as keen on a lot of the key episodes, but I think the premiere is great. The finale is in my top 6. It is a phenomenal episode. So the overall storyline ended well. I love that there was a consistent storyline because I feel like I kind of feel like without season 4 doing that, we might not have gotten what we got in season 9, and I think season 9 absolutely kills it. What do you know? I haven't said it yet, and there's only 3 seasons left to talk about. I wonder why. Season 4 is also so funny. It's got Maud's episode, which is hysterical. It's got Power Ponies, which is a lot of fun. The Bats episode is really stupid, but I really like it. Simple Ways is one of the... I didn't say, like, what's my favorite joke or my favorite line delivery. It's the same thing. It's the, I love it, that shit had me crying laughing. It's so funny. I think, like I said, they're kind of even to me, like season 1 and season 4. I feel like I'm slightly right now in more of a, I would put season 4 ahead of it mood, but I'm like, I think even yesterday I was like, I'm kind of leaning more towards season 1, so they're about even. Then we get the 2 S tier seasons. Season 9 and season 5, with season 2 being the double S. I knew season 9 was my 3rd favorite. I think it's kind of the quintessential season of Friendship is Magic because you've got everything across the board. You've got a pair of real dog shit episodes. You've got some mid episodes. You've got some, I kind of respect them more than I like them episodes. And if you tally up everything in B tier and below, that alone is a smaller number than just the A tier episodes. Because generally speaking, Friendship is Magic to me has a lot more good than it does bad. And even like, that includes mid and like, I still like it along with the bad. If you just look at the bad episodes, it's way better. The good episodes are really good, are really funny, are really entertaining. And when the season brought it, it brought it. It has 3 top 13 episodes. It has one of the best episodes in the entire show. Which, I mean, I'm 13, having 3 in the top 13 out of 222. Again, best episodes of the show. One of them what I'm trying to say is the finale made a genuine argument to be my favorite episode. It didn't, but I had to think about it. I had to really think about it. And I'm not 100. I feel like I am settled on Return of Harmony being my favorite episode. Spoiler alert for the giant tier list. But it made a big impact. But I didn't like it quite as much as Season 5. Season 5, I think, is just phenomenal. And I think a lot of it is because it introduced Starlight. It is an amazing premiere, an amazing finale. There's one dog shit episode. Oh, just a lot of really good ones. There are a few episodes that made me tear up. It has really the end of the Crusaders arc, and I think it's one of the best episodes. It has Amending Fences, which I think is incredible. And Slice of Life also is one of those episodes, like, this made a real argument to being my favorite episode of the whole show. That is, like, I know, like, top 6 was officially a tier. I feel like Ending of the End and Slice of Life are in my top 4. And there is an argument, genuinely, that I like Slice of Life more than Less Than Zero. I'm not 100 on that. Like, those... I know, like, when I made the list, I was like, I put Less Than Zero ahead of it. I'm like, I don't even know if I think that. Because even as I was talking about it, like, am I leaning more towards Slice of Life? I don't think I am, but I'm like, I don't know. So it has arguably the best just non-big 2-part episode of the show. It's just really, really good. Season 2 is my favorite. Season 2, taking that pen out, because I think what makes Season 2 my favorite season is not only is it, like, consistently at or near the top of the list when it comes to my rankings, I think it had the most episodes of any season in contention for the tier list, like, genuine contenders. It had episodes where I was like, these, like, I'm sorry, I just can't take these off, and it's like, It had episodes that I was willing to cut from the top 26 that I just couldn't because they were too good. The first 10 episodes of Season 2 is such an amazing run because it has a lot of phenomenal episodes. My favorite episode kicks it off, and it has one of the most dog shit episodes of the entire show. It is such an interesting, wild run. And when I look at the second half, we still have 2 top 13 episodes in there. We have a lot of really good and really entertaining episodes. The complete mess that is a Canterlot Wedding, and I wish I didn't care. Because anytime I watch it now, I'm like, no, it's a mess. There's so many problems. But I have so much fun with it. I still love watching it. And then I look at the bad episodes. I'm like, no, Season 2's got some bad ones. It arguably has more bad episodes than, like, any other season. But even look at these bad episodes, like Ne'er-Do-Well. Okay, Ne'er-Do-Well's just terrible. Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000 bothers me to my core, no pun intended, but, like, it bothers me to my core with how, like, messed up the ending is. It's also really funny. I love all the Trix Rabbit bullshit that Rainbow Dash goes through. And again, her being the piece of shit of the group, the fact that she's the butt monkey today is really funny. It has a genuinely fun song, and it introduced Flim and Flam. Like, Flim and Flam save it from being possibly the worst episode of the show. But man, like, they are working triple time to save this episode, and the fact that the episode not only gave me, like, a fun pair of characters, but they show up in every even numbered season cameo in a couple odd-numbered seasons, and still, like, steal the show at best gift ever. For a really bad episode, I still like watching it. And then the other 2 episodes I really don't like are Friend Indeed and Putting Your Hoof Down. Friend Indeed is an episode about Pinky just annoying and assaulting a dude until he relents to her friendship. It's awful. There are some pretty good jokes in there, and it has like a really, really great song. Putting Your Hoof Down is an episode about how it is this really unpleasant episode about Fluttershy being an extreme doormat who then starts getting assertive and takes it too far. But despite the fact that she's the one taking it too far, it's the fault of the guy that taught her to be assertive because sure dog. But it does have Iron Will. It's really fun. I don't think it's a good episode. I think it's pretty bad, but it's still fun to watch. Season 2 is my favorite because of just how much I like watching it. It's got some of my favorites, my absolute favorites, some of the worst, but the worst isn't boring. I think that's really what it is. I have seen some just I got nothing out of this episode from this show. Shout out to season 6. And I have seen some bad episodes where I'm just like, this is not fun to watch. This is not funny. This is not entertaining. It's not giving me like a new character that I can really enjoy hating or anything. It's just not good. When season 2 is not good, it at least gives me something to enjoy. When it has a messy episode like The Wedding, it makes up for it for just how good the rest of that shit is. Like, it's great. Season 2 is great. Friendship is Magic is great. I'm very glad I decided to rewatch it. I did not like the show solely because I was in a cult. Or just because I was sad and it made me a little not sad. I liked it because it's actually good. If anything, I liked it more the second time through. A lot of it, I think, is because it didn't catch me off guard. I wasn't like, this school, this is stupid, or why does Twilight have wings? This is stupid. This is what their marks are. This is stupid. I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. I can appreciate the events for what they are and what they do with them. And a lot of them, like, I think I liked this. I know there are episodes that I watched where I was like, I'm not looking forward to it. I know this episode is bad. I'm like, that was actually pretty good. That was pretty fun. Equestria Games is an episode that really stuck with me. It's not in my 26. I have genuine problems with it. But it went from an episode where I was like, this is a shoo-in for being one of the worst episodes of the show to being like, hold on a second. This is maybe one of its best. How? And that's why I said this, like the way I said it at the start. It's not a final thoughts. My thoughts on this will probably change. There's a non-zero chance I'll do this again in 10 years. Lord willing, I survive another 10. I would like to. But I don't know, I get struck by lightning or something. But, like I said, I'm really glad I did this. If you have not watched the show, I would recommend it. Maybe you don't have to watch every episode, because there are some that I don't think are really worth it, if I'm being honest. But I feel like for the most part, most of the show is worth watching. I don't know. I think that's it.